Thank you for pressing play. You're in for a treat. This podcast is all about providing you with long-term holistic methods of improving your mental and emotional health, as well as methods to instantly reduce stress, pain, and anxiety. Methods for dealing with conflicts, job stress, and relationship difficulties, grief, illness, and so much more. While this content is phenomenal and can greatly assist you, we must remind you that it is not intended to replace your psychiatrist or medical doctor. This discussion is a broader discussion about mental and emotional health and should not be interpreted as specific advice in a specific situation because every situation is unique.
Welcome to the HeartJoy Presents Wednesdays Mental and Emotional Health podcast or live cast, whatever you want to call it. I know this much. We have some wonderful guests here, and I am so honored to present to you today Ingrid Essawova. Ingrid Essawova-Frisby is the founder of Simply True. She's an intuitive and life recovery coach, and she has a wonderful sanctuary of the soul situated in Central Phoenix. And I am just honored to have her here to hear from her and let her just share. If you would, well, first of all, thank you for being here, Ingrid.
Thank you so much, Kimberly.
Absolutely. Before we do that, I just want to give this disclaimer that this is a general discussion about mental and emotional health. It's not to be interpreted as specific advice in a specific situation. Every situation is unique, and this is not to replace your psychiatrist or medical doctor. While you will get some amazing information here, I lost her, and you will be able to have the opportunity to visit Sanctuary of the Soul and see Ingrid Essawova. She is amazing. Hopefully she'll be back soon. I trust that she will. I know that she will. And so a little bit more about her. She's located, as I said, in Central Phoenix, right on North 7th at the Urban Wellness Center. All right, she's back. Welcome back. I just want to give Ingrid the opportunity to share with us, how did you become this intuitive life coach? That has to be an amazing story. And I know we're just going to have time for the cliff notes, but you just share what your heart says to share right now about how.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I always knew I was a little different from a really young age, and all this, metaphysical stuff and the empath and the intuitiveness and all that. I used to levitate people in grade 2.
Wow.
And I got in trouble by Mrs. Broomhall. Or was it grade 4? I can't remember. Or maybe it was 7. I don't know. I think I got in trouble all those times. So I was always intrigued, and being a problem solver and a troubleshooter all my life in one level or another, which then led to my career. I was in corporate America for over 35 years doing just that. And then when personal situations came up where I was not a very happy camper, you know how that feels when we're not very happy campers, right?
Yeah.
Well, my mission was to solve it, because I didn't think that was going. Why is this so hard? Like, why are certain things always taken care of and other things are not? There's something that we must be missing, and I believed always somehow that everything is simple. Except math. Everything is simple, and we're just complicating it. So therefore, I was on a quest to heal myself fully and completely. And now that I am in this vibration, I have an opportunity to make a difference for other people. And it's been quite a journey, going on to almost 6 decades.
That's wow. Yes. Wow. And you have, your vibration is so wonderful, and the sanctuary of the soul is just filled with it. I love it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, that is one of the programs that we have every Wednesday evening. It's kind of like a new church, no judgment, no expectations, no attachments, just really great topics to talk about, little meditation, Q&As, and it's really fun. And that's at the Urban Wellness Center.
It's really a unique experience, and I wouldn't, well, if church was not a good experience for you, then just take that word right out of your mind, because this is completely different. There is no judgment. There is only acceptance and re-education. And so to free your soul, really.
Exactly. And if church is in your vocabulary and you enjoy that relationship, come on over regardless, and perhaps see if that is a fit for you in a different aspect. And if it's not, it's not. But at least you can say you gave it a go.
That's right. That's right. So tonight, be there.
Be there tonight. There you go.
Excuse me. So can you share with us what you actually do as a intuitive and life recovery coach?
Absolutely.
And how it affects, how it relates to the mental and emotional health, because this is a holistic approach.
Correct. So I'm very blessed to have, as I always say to people, a niche in the self-development market, where when I was looking for help, I could not find it at all. So it's a niche where, let's say if you had done lots of self-development work, and I hear often, oh, I've done this and I've done this and I have done that. Yay. Terrific. But there's still something, right? There's still something that seems to be missing. It seems to be a void. Well, that is where I come in, because bottom line, it's about our moment to moment and our experiences of the reactions that we have in our thoughts, our words, and our actions overall.
Yeah.
So I help people connect to themselves, because when they have the emotions of anger, frustration, disappointment, fear, doubt, all those things, they're disconnected from themselves.
Yeah.
When they're connected to themselves, the only thing they experience is peace, joy, contentment, love. And honestly, you don't need anything else.
That's
except
right.
Starbucks. Okay, very good. So therefore, how is this achieved? This is achieved through education about truth. There are things that we have learned growing up through teachers, parents, society, and that we think are true. And sorry if there's noise in the background.
There's no noise. I can't hear anything.
So you go through life thinking that certain things are true, and then that's your programming. But the thing is, that's not the right programming, or should I say, it is not the programming that the path that you want to be on. It doesn't fit. It's the circle in the square peg. So if we get educated on truth and you see that it resonates with you, then how can you be productive and healthy in your own path that you wish to do? Obviously, then you pick the square into the square.
Yeah.
So through education, through awareness, and through connecting to you, and for example, we have this, majority of people, we're not going to say everybody, right? Majority of people have this notion that when you take care of yourself, it's selfish. So that's one of the programming that we look at, and we peel it back so many ways and down to the core, to a point that you realize, oh my gosh, that's not true. So therefore, when you then reprogram, you're able to go on your journey that much faster, and you're more connected. So therefore, you attract what you are. So that's one part. And the other part is that I created a program called the Emotional Bootcamp, where you take one topic that's brought you pain and heartache, you answer 22 questions, and at the end of 2 or 3 hours, that level of pain and heartache is gone, guaranteed.
Wow.
So through truth, education, truth, and a program where I did all the work for all you guys, by the way. You don't have to do the work. I did all the work for you through pain and suffering. So
wasn't for nothing though, right? Yeah.
So you don't have to go through it. you're just able to take out the layers one by one by one by one to a point that you have no weight on your shoulders, except if you go to the gym and you do squats.
That's amazing. I mean, that's just wonderful news. That's why I'm so excited that I have you here to share this amazing information with the world.
Can you tell I had coffee this morning?
Your Starbucks, right?
and then there's that. No, it's actually I should call it Scotty Bucks.
Awesome. You got your Scotty. That's so
the
wonderful.
Good old lattes.
You know, we're speaking of attracting yourself. We attract ourselves, period.
We attract ourselves. Oh, we attract ourselves. Yeah. I'm like, hold on. How is this done? Yeah. We attract
so
ourselves.
what we want, what you help people do is to be the person that you want to attract, not the person that you don't want to attract, right?
Yeah, you want to be the person that you don't attract, but little do you know that is actually helping you being the person that you want, because the universe always pushes you to the direction of your set desires.
Amen.
Just because you're not amused of the experience and the journey. Well, what do you expect? An angel to come down with a scroll and going, okay, these are your issues. A, B, C, D, E, F, right? That's not going to happen, honey. All right. You need to go through it. And by the way, if you don't get the message, you're going to get it again. And if you don't get the message again, you're going to get it again and again and again. And then it also may be more intense until, it pushes you. And then you go, okay, what?
Yeah.
And sometimes it could be and that's the laws of the universe. That if you don't get it, sometimes it may be too late, because, maybe that 4th-stage cancer does come in, and maybe there's just a few weeks or a few months, and it's like, we showed you the clues and there you go. But I also have a belief that even a few weeks left, you can also turn that around and then it's all gone. But that's a whole different other podcast, isn't it?
Yes. So, Whit, can you give us some examples just so that people have an idea of what this might look like? Of someone that came to you?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, and also, I'm going to answer that, and simultaneously I will answer about the intuitive part too. So this is how it looks like. You come in for a free session, by the way. First, we have a phone consultation. For 10 or 15 minutes, we see if we are a match. You have to be a match with me. I have to be a match with you, because we are not here to waste time. This is very heavy duty work that is serious. And I'm looking for people that are really, they're done. They're done. They cannot afford not to make that shift. They just quite don't know which angle or which path to go to. If that is a fit, we go and see 1 hour for a free session. I'm global, so we can do Zoom, we can do in person, we can do over the phone. We get a little bit more education on what this is all about, and the faith and the belief system. Then we take about 3 sessions to educate, and then we start on an emotional boot camp with topic number 1. What happens during this time, even just from the first free session, your life changes. Why? Because you don't know what you don't know, and you can't go back to not knowing something. So suddenly you can't help it when you walk outside the door, and then I give you homework, because I always give homework. And then you see things differently. You hear things differently, because now you're aware. So your life changes due to you. I can talk till I'm blue in the face. If you don't want to, you don't want to. But you are suddenly shifting from that day, and then you're starting to attract different things, and you're starting to connect. And you also are starting to get clearer and lighter, and you realize you added so many ingredients into the recipe. It only needed like 4 ingredients, and you're putting 72. Okay, pancakes does not need ketchup. or wasabi. It's not tasty.
And you get the humor, as you know.
And you get the humor. As you connect to yourself, you're quieter. When you're quieter, you're able to hear the gut, the intuition. When you connect to yourself, we all have this, and people do call it gifts, but I call gifts a feather falling from the sky and there's no bird above. You know, I believe that that is a gift when something is presented to me. We underestimate ourselves and don't realize how vast this brain is.
Oh my God.
And we all have the ability to be intuitive. So therefore that can't be a gift. It's simply a skill of like knowing our 1, 2, 3s and our ABCs. But the gift of being sent a silver platter in front of us to have that opportunity, that is the gift. So I don't want anyone to think that they're less than, because you're not. Nobody has anything more than you. They may have some tools in their tool belt, and that doesn't have to be manual. They're actually chargeable ones that they can just go, you know what I mean? Instead of, where's the plug? Where's the plug? I got to plug this in. All right. But they have the ability to as well. So through our sessions there, I have a lot of downloads. And if information needs to be relayed, I get the downloads. I ask permission to share, and they do. And then suddenly they have downloads as well. Kind of like you attract what you are type of thing, right?
So how would they know they have a download? Can you?
They just know. It's a knowing.
Okay.
No, it's not a knowing. And people have it in a different way. Either they, have you ever gone inside of a room and go, ooh, like, I have a bad feeling about something. Okay, well, how'd you know that? Right? Did another person come up and tell you? No. It was a level of sense of knowing. It could have, you actually hear, you know, out, get out, or something like that. So some people do it in color, some people do it in feelings, some people hear it in voices. I have it through my angels and my guides and all the energetic realm speaking through me through words and feelings. So that's a part of my faith and my knowing, and that's an everyday occurrence. That's an every moment occurrence when needed.
Awesome.
And when asked, we have all the answers to all questions. We just have to ask the right questions. Exactly. And we have to listen.
Absolutely.
So then what happens going forward here? You're doing a mapping, like a mapping of a topic of your divorce, for example, right? And then that wound definitely shifted there. That level of pain and heartache is gone, guaranteed. So with that weight off your shoulders, what's your life like? You know, who would you be with that weight off your shoulders? Who would you be? How would you proceed? How would you hear things? How would you speak to people? What are your reactions like? And we talk about that. We talk about our week or our month, depending how often they see me. And we dissect and we go to what's going to be the next step and the next step in their lives. In their lives. It's all customized. That's
amazing. That, I mean, I'm so glad that we have the opportunity to hear that, to share that, because people need to know that, one, there are other ways of managing their life stresses and traumas and experiences that are weighing them down. And as you said, you know, the re-education is so key, because it's how we are interpreting our experiences in life that's causing the anxiety, the stress, and the sadness, the grief, the being weighed down, and even the depression. And we understand that can be due to a chemical imbalance. But understanding what part of it is a chemical
imbalance and what part is just simple conditioning and programming. I have close people in my life that, thank goodness for medication. Thank goodness. I'm not a fan, but I know people that absolutely need it. And they are helped by wonderful, wonderful doctors that care and that are just not going to give the prescriptions. They literally talk, and maybe their doses are just a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 little milligrams of this and this, but they find together a happy balance. And you just got to pick your battles.
Yeah.
Because why be miserable?
Yeah. There's so many layers of us. I mean, we have our physical body, which is an amazing instrument itself, and then we have our spiritual, our energetic, our mental, our emotional, all of these layers of us that are affected by everything that we think, say, and do. And so, you know, in that, and then in the holistic approach, you address all of those layers,
the whole self. Absolutely. Because the emotional does impact the physical, which then impacts the mental, which then I really do feel it starts with the emotional.
Yeah, that's like our
that's
gauge.
the heart frame.
It lets us know where we are. It really, right? It lets us know, okay, this is where I am.
Yes, Kimberly. I say this to my clients. Do you realize we get these tools every single day? You just said it. It lets us know where we are, and we ignore it. The fact that you have constant headaches.
So many ignore it.
There is reason why you have constant headaches. Okay. Yeah. And yes, it could be because you are dehydrated. It's because, you know, you can have just a misalignment in your skeletal. Yes. And it can also be because of holding on to stagnated energy due to a wound. But don't ignore these things. The universe gives us signals 24/7.
24/7.
And it's free. You don't have to be in any financial
what I
point in your life.
That people, though, I think that they don't know what to do with that information.
They don't know. And that's if they're aware. They don't know what to do with that information. They just thinking that that's just nonsense and something is wrong with them. Like, do we really hear this information? When you feel, I'll get you in for a tidbit. When I talk about truth in sessions, what is the one thing that everybody gets 24/7 from the moment they breathe to the moment they take their last breath, no matter where they live, no matter their sex, their gender, their lifestyle, everyone gets it and it's free of charge. What is it that they get?
The life force energy.
Absolutely. And they also get that when you are in balance and alignment, that tells you that truth is present. The moment you have either emotional, mental, physical, energetic, 2 of those, 3 of those, all 4 of those, any of those, when you're off balance, off alignment in any of those, that means truth is lacking. Something is not balanced. So if you're in a relationship and you were perfectly fine 5 minutes ago, and then you come into the room and then suddenly, guess what? Anxiety starts. Okay. That's a clue. So, if you're not feeling well, okay, you're getting a flu or something, there's either something too much in your body that doesn't belong, that gets you on alignment, or you're lacking something. You're not in balance. So every time you feel something, either physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, that is a sign that there's a level of truth that's missing. It's free of charge and we all get it.
But the thing, I think that people, it's okay. So that's an awareness. That's a great awareness. Once they have the awareness, they still need to know what the imbalance is and how to balance it. Because we're so not educated to how our body works, how understanding how we are in harmony, we need to be in harmony with nature. We're so far from that, you know, not just in America, but worldwide.
You're so right. Because that doesn't create money, does it?
But you know what, honestly, the way I view it is we are evolving. We're evolving into higher beings, and we're just at the point now where we're awakening to who we hope you and I are a part of helping people to do that, awakening to who we really are, how we function, and how we achieve balance, right?
And whoever goes to the next step in getting themselves balanced and aligned, it's those people that are ready to do so. And they will find the help, so they will then know how to. And some people don't. I get it. But that's a part of their journey.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll repeat that for 20 years, and then one day maybe there's a light switch that goes off and maybe they listen something to the radio. Does anybody listen to the radio? Somebody can listen something to the radio,
to this podcast
or listen to the podcast or do something, and then suddenly something clicks in their head. You know what? I think I need this.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is perfect, and especially as light workers, we want to save everybody, but we're really not, because our role is not to be the rescuer. We're not rescuers, you guys. We are simply people that are spreading awareness. And what you do with that awareness is all up to you. And we also had to have our own journey as light workers, realizing we can't rescue everybody, even though we wanted to. We have to understand whoever we get, period. And how grateful are we?
I just find it fascinating that we, as light workers, as you call us, emotional healers, whatever the term we use to describe ourselves, but I just see this emergence of coaches, healers over the last within 10 years. Yeah. And so that's what tells me that it's time, that that people are ready, and not everybody, but again, we're evolving all at different levels, different stages, different times. And this is a time that is unique in that people have an opportunity to do something different. Well, find something that works, because I think all the last maybe 50 years or maybe 100 years, but let's say 50, because most people are in that age range. In the 100 years, they're not even probably here anymore, and they're certainly not looking for this. But going from everything else, nothing else worked. They've tried everything else. Now they're ready for this. Is that what you're finding? That people, like you said, they come to you after they're done. They've tried this, they've tried that, and none of those other things made the difference. But when they see you,
no, exactly. And I think that we just have to understand it's all perfect.
Absolutely. It's perfect. That's where the perfection is how I understand the evolution, because the evolution is happening exactly the way it's supposed to. All of these, this is how I see it. All of these things, our purpose of everything that happens is for us to grow into a more loving being. Mm-hmm. And this is how we do it. Yeah. This is how we do it.
Don't get me
how
started.
we do it. Yeah. But that's really what it's about. We are growing into a more loving being, and we are guides to help you accomplish that. And like I said, for every person out there who is struggling, who is ready, there is one for you. When you are ready, the teacher will appear. And here is Ingrid right now for you.
And here is Kimberly right now. No, absolutely. And that brings a level of peace, and there's no weight on our shoulders.
Yeah.
And as light workers, what do you think is our responsibility? Then again, this is your podcast, not mine. So anyway, very good. Look how I just turned that.
Go ahead. What do you think is our responsibility?
To do the work ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. That is our work. That's our work. And that's everyone's work. But our work as light workers is to do the work on ourselves, because as we do the work on ourselves, we attract those who we're here. We've done that work, and now we're ready for that person.
And the thing is, how can you give healthy, productive advice when you yourself are at a place in your life where there are wounds? Because you will hear things differently. You will see things differently, your client. And your advice may be, even though you don't mean to, maybe from a direction of pain and heartache. Like, no, get away from him. No. There's just no way that's going to be done, right? But
yeah.
Meanwhile,
I'm glad you're saying that, because that is out there. That is out there.
It is out there.
If they have not done the work, you're right. They're going to give that kind of advice. And everything happens the way it's supposed to. But the thing is, we're here to share this information with you. So if you're hearing this, it's because you're ready to hear it. And
correct.
If you're coming to someone for coaching, that someone's goal is to not give you answers, but to take you into yourself, because that's where the answers are. You're the only expert. The one.
Oh, honey, I give them the answers. And then I go, does that resonate with you?
Yeah.
No, I do. I really do. And I think that's what makes me so different. I go right into the answer. Does that resonate with you? If it doesn't, let's peel it back. Let's see why. What is the fear? What is the doubt? Do. Because there is truth. So then I go, okay, so give me your 4 choices that you have in this particular situation. Which one will resonate with you? No, definitely. I mean, I make them work for their answers, but ultimately,
make sure that they're their answers, right? That they're their
yes,
answers.
because always, does that resonate with you? Why? I know if you are joshing me, because I might be intuitive, and I also might have common sense too.
Common sense. Tell me about that, because is there really a such thing as common sense?
100%. You have a circle. You're trying to put it into a square peg, a square peg putting into a circle.
Yeah.
Common sense. Why does that not work? Ooh, this edge is sticking out. This is sticking out. So therefore, that's not the pathway. 1 + 1 is 2. Half of all this, if not more, is common sense. If you're sensitive and you want your loved ones to share everything with you, Let's use common sense. If you're sensitive and you are going to be told something where that sensitivity, you are going to have anger. What is the common sense? Will people share things with you? Are you going to be approachable? No. Use your common sense. Don't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, I still have some kind of a, and I suppose it comes from my unconditional acceptance. I know where it came from. Common sense. When someone says you don't have common sense, or that you use your common sense. Well, to me, if I'm using my common sense, and if my common sense is not the same as your common sense, well, maybe it's not common.
A square fitting into a circle.
I understand that. But when we say we're trying to fit a square peg or into a round circle, or a round circle into a square peg, we're using it metaphorically.
But actually, right? Literally. We're actually living it literally. We're talking about the core, not the common sense in this level or this level. No, we're talking about the core. If you're going to be angry all the time, what's the common sense? Are you going to have certain relationships that you want so much? Okay. Perhaps not.
If a person is angry all the time, are they aware that they're angry all the time?
That is for them to understand that their every action has a reaction. And that action or reaction is common sense, right? So that's kind of how I look at it. And when my clients got common sense, everything accelerated that much more, because we're not taught logic. We're not taught common sense. We're
right.
not taught how to think. We're not really taught how to think.
Right. So we just
because
learn
things
it.
Are so simple. So simple. And that's just been my experience, and how clients were able to speed up their pathway to their desires.
And that's really the goal. I mean,
exactly.
I believe that we do everything that we do to get our needs met. First, our basic needs for, acceptance, shelter, food,
and
shelter,
water.
Mm-hmm.
Only 3. Yeah.
And then as we have those met, we want to get the next needs met: acceptance, love, appreciation.
Oh, you see, and I don't believe that there is any other need than that. I only believe if you have food, water, safe shelter, you're good to go. Oh, you do need to have a loincloth. Can we just put some clothes on us, please? Those are needs. That's it. When you have that, you are blessed. Everything else are wants and desires for a particular reason. That's what the other ones are not needs.
Right. But those aren't the things, the needs and wants and desires are the things that motivate us to do what we do. Right.
Right. But if you have a need, you have an attachment. If you have attachment, you have control. If you have control, then you have judgment. If you have judgment, then you have expectations. Right. But without water, without food, we can't survive here after a certain amount of months. We just can't. So therefore, it's a need. We don't have a choice. And the shelter is probably another one, is just a little bit more comfortable if we had shelter, especially if you're in Phoenix.
Really, yeah, with the heat. Oh, boy.
It's so hot out there these days. Oh my God. And the other ones are wants that you don't have to have, but you want to because you have a certain path and certain goals. But they're not life and death. They're not.
But isn't it the motivation for doing what you do, right?
And there Why do we have to be motivated? Can't the simple, why do we need motivation? I don't have motivation. I don't need motivation.
Well, I said that to what
people need motivation. That's their language. You are,
yeah. What causes a person to do what they do? That's what I'm talking about. You know, I'm just using the word as a.
Of course.
Why
of course
they do,
because again, it's a programming. So we look outside of ourselves to be motivated. And this is the work that I do, that you don't have to look outside of yourself to get what you need. It's all here within. You don't need that motivation. You just simply need to know your why. Your why. And then that's, for example, why I don't have goals. And I don't because I'm in the moment. And when I have a download, start a church. Oh, really? Okay. Can I first have a latte and then think about it? You know, and I do. And boom, done. You know why? Because the universe knows the perfect timing. I don't know the perfect timing. I would think I kind of like to know the perfect timing, but the universe does. And I have my faith because they see and they know the people in place more than I do. So when I get the download time, boom, I do. And then it's as if the universe is, I mean, even though I gave permission to absolutely everything, and this was already discussed before I came here on Earth, I wait for their lead.
So can you give us I know you said that you've been intuitive ever since you could remember.
I just might not know what it was.
That's okay. You said that you worked in corporate America, and then there was a life situation that you came to realize that, okay, this is not working for me. I am going to do what does work for me. Is that?
Yeah. Yeah. When your back goes out every 2 days and you're in incredible pain, that's usually an indication you need to do something. And the doctors are saying you're perfectly fine, but you're not.
You know you're not. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
I want to bring that up. I mean, just highlight that, because the doctors will tell us either we're fine, there's nothing wrong with us. Well, we wouldn't be there going to the doctor if we were fine and there's nothing wrong with us.
Exactly.
Or they'll say, you have this terminal whatever, or whatever, you have this problem, but there's nothing can be done about it. And those things are simply not true. Simply not true. You talk to Ingrid, she'll tell you what simply is true.
You talk to Kimberly and she is going to tell you what is true, darn it. Right, because things just don't happen to happen. Nothing is a coincidence.
Nothing.
Zero, zip. Everything is perfectly orchestrated. There are no mistakes. The universe is the perfect dispatcher of everything.
Yes.
There is nothing wrong, my foot. It's not that there's something is wrong. There's an imbalance.
Yeah. Right.
And then wouldn't that be nice if the doctors would refer people like us?
Yeah. I believe that day is going to come. I hope that day comes. There are some doctors that do. There are some doctors that do refer their patients to people like myself, like you and I, for help where they can't help them, because they're
correct.
Yeah,
and also understand that the help can also go even deeper in terms of past lives.
Oh yeah.
I have so many clients that the past life dictated this life.
Absolutely.
My past lives have not dictated this one at all. I just, maybe like one little thing I'll have, but I have clients that like almost everything dictated. So people like us are able to go down that realm, go to the Akashic records, go to the past lives and sever those cords, and go in front of council and take a look at that. And then suddenly, guess what? In this lifetime, wow, suddenly, oh my God, I was able to sleep now at night. I was able to do this and this and this, but that's frowned upon. But it is changing. And
that is. Because
I'm glad that it is.
Yeah, I am too. And I believe it's changing because of the work that people like us are doing.
Correct.
You know?
And the word is spreading.
Yes, yes.
And we will always be in business.
Oh, yeah.
For how grateful are we that we're doing our purpose, because we're loving every minute of it.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, and we get paid too. Oh, that.
Yes.
No. How many things do we do pro bono? How many times, how many things because we wish to, because we've got it. We're taken care of. Universe will take care of us. What comes around, goes around, comes around.
Absolutely. What we put out, I love this. What we put out, and this goes for everybody, it's a universal law. It comes back.
I had a client the other day, just an example, and this happens all the time. Not exactly this particular thing, but it just happens all the time. I decided to go a little bit beyond what I usually do with a client, just a little bit beyond. I just see, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit more beyond. I'll be going to her house, help her with stuff because she's just too overwhelmed. I don't do that stuff, right? I really put the boundary in terms of that. That afternoon, our plans were different. We weren't going to eat till 8 o'clock. It is now 4 o'clock. And I'm like, I need my Starbucks. Suddenly I go through the drive-through. I come up to the window. The girl leans over and she has an Australian accent. She goes, darling. And I'm like, yes, dear. The driver in front of you paid for your order. Are you serious? Oh my God, how beautiful.
That's beautiful.
It just, really? Like out of all cars, right? Out of all moments.
Exactly.
I love it.
That's
I go, wow,
that's how the universe works.
That's how the universe works. It was like them saying, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Well done.
Right.
There was something else that you said that I wanted to, oh yes. When you do see Ingrid, you're in for a treat. Just magical hands, magical hands, and just her whole environment. As soon as you walk in the door, you will feel the energy, and we'll walk out with a little bit of it with you. Mm-hmm.
That's right. Because it gets overloaded with sage.
Whatever you do, it's working. It's beautiful.
It's
beautiful.
Beautiful.
The moment you walk in the door.
Beautiful place. And just, our intentions, Kimberly, for the work that we do, our intentions is love, period.
Absolutely.
We love people equally. We love them. We love our purpose. We are here only for one purpose. And we've done our work. Boy, have we done our work. And in very, very different, intricate ways, we're always learning and we're always still doing our work. And I truly think we have the best jobs in the whole wide world.
I believe that. I agree. I as I probably have shared my story as a child, but I just come back to each time I was having this soul conversation, with myself and really wanting to get honed in on what it is I want to do, what it is that I will live or die for. And it always came back to love.
Yeah.
That's just, that's the one thing that I will live or die for, because I just believe that that's why we're here. That's why.
Correct. That
is
is why we're here.
And why everything that happens in our life is about growing into a more loving being.
Correct. Absolutely. And what a beautiful conclusion as we draw too near the end.
Yes, you know,
Of this.
normally I have my clock going. Okay, but I didn't. Okay, let me go back. In our last few minutes, I want to give our listeners ways to reach you, what you would like to leave them with. And I will also have your information in the description of the video once the video is finished. But for those who are listening, or what is your message to them?
Message to them is, don't beat yourself up. Okay? When it's time, you will know it. If it's not time yet, it's not time yet. If you resonated with myself, great. Let's have a free 10-15-minute consultation. What will it hurt? I work with everyone. I work with everyone that is ready and determined and had enough, and they are taking this accountability that they want to do the work. Those are the people that I work with. But I also work with you financially. You want to be more connected, more evolved, more shifting. I'm not going to let anything stop. I'm not going to let anything stop this beautiful process. So let's have a chit chat. If that's a match, let's have that free session so you can fully decide for yourself if that's a match. And if it's a match, terrific. If it isn't, it might be in a few months. It might be next year. Do you know how many people I have calling me going, you gave me your card 4 years ago when we were at the manicure place?
Don't you love that? Don't you?
And I'm like,
that?
I can't believe I remember you. I actually remember that moment, right? But I give my card out all the time, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, know that timing is perfect. Give yourself grace all the time. And when you are ready, I am here. Simplytrue.com. That's the best thing to say. Simplytrue.com. Life is simple. It's all about the truth. Simplytrue.com. Simplytrue.com. If you're not quite ready to see me, but you would like to know a little bit more, why don't you grab my book from Amazon? And it's called The Emotional Dictionary to the Soulful Self.
Do you have a copy of it to hold up?
Yeah.
It's right there.
Right up here.
With the big butterfly.
The big butterfly.
Awesome.
There you go. It's right on the second shelf. Right there.
Yes. With the last few minutes, just tell us a little bit about the book.
With me right here.
Just a little bit.
And it is a dictionary of, it's the bullet pointed, it's in-depth answers. I told you, I give you all the answers. I did all the work and you just do all the answers. You give all the answers because that's just what I do. And, you know, you use it, you can just close your eyes and whatever page you end up, that's what you're supposed to hear at that moment, you know? Again, where do you reach me? Simplytrue.com. Simplytrue.com. I have quite a bit of modalities. I do 1 hour intuitive readings. I'm a professional hugger. So I actually do angel wraps, which is a beautiful release. I do energy work in terms of release. And we do look at those past lives, the Akashic records, and whatever comes in, the intuitive is really used. I do also relationship core essentials for, this is really great for single people, people that are thinking of divorcing, and people thinking of marrying, but they're not quite sure. It is one of my favorite sessions to do. And I did that for myself and found my love of my life, truly in terms of my match for this time of my life. And it's a really fun session. I also do house parties where we do Q&As and we have a lot of fun, make sure there's alcohol. And and yeah, just go online and see what all the different things in. And of course, SOS, Sanctuary of the Soul, a weekly service at the Urban Wellness Center where we talk about topics. We have little meditation beginning
What's your
and
theme
end.
for tonight?
It's an open forum. And for tonight, because I like to quote it exactly, it's about spiritual ascending, brackets, grading system, for that every thought, every word, every action is a deposit, and how that works within the universe, how that works within your journey, and what occurs when we go home.
I love that.
Go to the next thing.
That sounds
Okay. So the
amazing.
spiritual ascending. I don't say spiritual grading because that's a judgment. You know, either we ascend to the light or we choose to go toward the shadow. The shadow's there to try to protect us, but then that's full of fear. So we really talk about that. I will be streaming this live tonight via Facebook.
Wow.
I know I said that last week, but I really mean it tonight.
All right.
So
oh, that's
more people
wonderful.
that
I'm so glad. Yeah.
can't go there, they can see it live.
Yay.
And again, where do you find me? Simplytrue.com. You see, you're going to know that for the rest of your life. I've totally brainwashed you. Yay.
Simplytrue.com. Well, thank you for joining us. And whether you joined us live or watching this video, we just know that you've taken something away that you didn't come with. And that's
there you go. Thank you. I'm very blessed to be on this. Thank you, Kimberly. Blessings and love that all that you do.
Thank you, Ingrid, for being who you are and sharing yourself with the world. Thank you.
Thank you.